What up, everybody? Mo over here from Speed Junkies. I'm putting the brake lines together today. I actually, I'm doing it the cheap way. I would have got it even cheaper if I would have ordered some of the fittings online. And I can tell you guys which fittings you can order so you can save some money. But and I also it would have been cheaper for me if I would have just did the fittings myself and cut the lines and did all that myself. But I actually paid someone to do it. It still cost me about $105. I'm doing hydraulic Ebrake too, so I'll show you guys exactly how I'm doing this. The hydraulic Ebrake, I already took it apart so that way I could mark the mounting holes on my car. But like you see here, I got this braided line done, and then what I did was I had an old CRX here before, and I took the brake lines off of it. I took it to a hose and pipe fitting place and got them to cut the lines and put these fittings over here. These are stock fittings, so that actually saves you some money if you just reuse the fittings. For the front line and for the line that is going from the brake master cylinder to the T for the front, what I did was with these soldering lines, I made kind of a template of where everything's gonna go lengthwise, and then I took this to my guy. I marked everything, and he made stainless lines for me. I like these hard lines because you can easily bend it and straighten it out again, but it is a pretty strong line. And I did give him all the old lines. Well, I cut the old lines off and I used the old fittings right here, so that saved me some money as well. But like you see here, there is 2 lines missing because I kind of cheated and started doing it already. Here's one of them. So like I said, there's the one for the master cylinder going inside, and I have it ran through the same area that I have the wires, my wire harness going through, and that is right here. So you guys can see that. And there's that fitting. That fitting is a 10-to-1 pipe fitting for brake lines. So that fitting actually cost me about $7 a piece. Online, if you ordered it, you can get it for about $3, and you need 2 of them. I'm using one for the rear and one for the front. Of course, my front brakes are independent from the back. The back is going to be hydraulic Ebrake controlled because, of course, this is a drag car. And what I did was I was able to use the stock location right here and ran the line through the area that I have over here that is kind of, it's hidden from the engine bay. It's coming through here, going over my pedal assembly, and then coming out right there. And for the other one, I'm going to be doing something similar, but as you see here, it's all hidden in between there. This guy over here I haven't installed yet, but there it is. I'm going to go through that hole, and what I'm going to use is the stock bushing right here. That's going to go in that hole right there to protect the line. And I'm going to be using this 308 stainless line right here. One thing that I am going to be doing that's different than what everybody else usually does is they usually run the brake lines through this hole, and then they come around right here, and then it usually just tees off right there and it goes into the hydraulic Ebrake. I'm actually tucking the lines. I figured out I'm going to run it underneath here, and my hydraulic Ebrake is going to get mounted here. Luckily, I have this mount already made on my chassis. I do have to drill out another hole for the Ebrake because I don't want it at that angle. But that hydraulic Ebrake is going to have the braided line. That braided line is going to run like that, go through this hole right here. That is actually the rubber piece that would normally go in that hole right there. I'm just going to get another grommet, and hopefully I can find one this size and just cover that hole. But this grommet actually worked well over here. I made the hole a little bit bigger for the stainless steel braided line to go through. Right behind here, there's going to be a T just like that one. And my brakes are going to come underneath the car, around underneath here, and they're both going to connect right here. Just real simple, but it's going to be a little bit cleaner because I'm not going to have it in the going to work on my hydraulic e-brake. So it's pretty self-explanatory what I'm doing. Luckily on my drag car there's already a bracket welded into the frame by the previous owner. So here it is. Show you guys what I'm going to do. I do have to drill out one hole. There's a couple holes drilled out there already, but I'm going to have my e-brake like that. I'm lining up one of the holes right there, and then there's a hole back here. Pretty self-explanatory what I did. I just stuck a marker in there and put a little dot. Bam. So I know where to drill. I'm gonna mount that, and then once I get that mounted, I can run the braided line, and then I can run the back lines and then hook them all up. Should be pretty easy. 12mm bolts, Honda bolts, and that's actually gonna work. It looks like the holes here though are slightly small, so I'm gonna drill those out a little bit. Looks like I'm just gonna drill out both 2 new holes because the hole that's here is right on the edge, and I don't want to have to drill it out and then make it really weak. So I'm going to do one at a time. You never know. Always start off with a smaller drill bit. You don't want to round them off. Sometimes it's even better to put some oil or grease.
This is the rhythm of my life, oh yeah, the rhythm of my life.
Final product, everybody, with the e-brake installed. And mind you, I am going to get a like a rubber strap and maybe strap it to right here and have it to the e-brake, so that way the actual e-brake when I'm at a stop or when I park the car could be pulled on its own, holding the e-brake down. That's kind of a good idea, I think. So you see how close it is to my shifter. The shifter is actually in reverse right now. I already shifted with it, and my little hands were actually more than enough for it to be around it with no problem, even in reverse in 5th gear. So I have no problem with that. If I do need to move it, of course I got this plate here that I could just drill 2 more holes and move it over. That's not gonna be a problem. Let me show you guys from the bottom what it looks like. There it is, the hose coming in. Got me a little angle there. Got little hangers right here with sheet metal screws. There we go. So I really like how it came out. What I end up using for hanging those lines down there, these little plastic clamps. I got this whole thing from Harbor Freight for about $4 I think it was, or $3. And then I use these sheet metal screws right here. What I'm actually gonna do is go to Home Depot and find lugs and lock lugs to go, lock washers to go over this. That way I can put them on this guys right here that are sticking out, and then I'll shop it flat where the lug meets to it, and that kind of gives it a little bit more tightness to it, but I doubt it's going to fall out anyways without even doing that. But I like to be sure. I would recommend for brake fluid is some kind of high temp bracing brake fluid like what I got here, rated for 570 degrees. This is Wilwood brand. You could probably get in other brands as well, but I highly suggest you get high temp fluid because regular brake fluid will get hot and it will become less efficient. And I am planning on going over 120 miles per hour and a quarter mile, and when I'm hitting the brakes I want it to stop. That's what I'm going to be using, so all I have left is to fill it up and bleed the brakes. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and learned a lot. And of course, safety's first, guys. Whenever you're underneath the car, always wear some goggles, even if you're not cutting anything, because you'll have dirt fall in your eyes. And like and subscribe. Thanks for watching Speed Junkies, guys. Till next time.